Let's take a look at how to search for Greek or Hebrew words using Strong's numbers. BibleWorks has a number of translations that are tagged with Strong's numbers. Strong's numbers that represent the underlying Greek or Hebrew word that the English word or phrase translates. When the Strong's numbers are displayed, they appear between two arrows. In some versions you might see information between parentheses. That's tense, voice, mood information. And when you mouse over the word or mouse over the numbers, the information in the analysis window will give you an analysis of the number. The translations that are tagged with Strong's numbers are the King James Version, the New King James Version, the New American Standard Version and New American Standard Version Updated, the NAU, the Holman Christian Standard Bible, the CSB, and also a translation in Russian, Dutch, French, and German. When you're working with a word in English and you want to search for the underlying Greek or Hebrew word, you'll first need to determine the Strong's number. Let's say we want to study the word flesh throughout the Bible and search for all instances of it in the Greek and Hebrew. I'll first need to determine the Strong's number for the word flesh. I'm going to concentrate on just the Holman Christian Standard Bible. So I've set up one of my tabs to have the Greek and Hebrew and the CSB, the Holman Christian Standard Bible. I want to make sure that my search version is the CSB, and then I'll click on the command line, type in period and flesh, and hit enter. That's found all the instances of the word flesh throughout the Bible. So starting with Hebrew, let's check and see what the Strong's number is for it. There are a number of ways that you can display the Strong's numbers. You can use a menu item here under View, Show Hide, and Strong's Numbers. Or this button right here has an option to toggle Strong's Numbers. Or you can click within the Browse window and use a keyboard shortcut. It's R. So once I have the Strong's numbers displaying, I can see there that the Strong's number for flesh is 01320. If I hold my mouse cursor over it, I can see there, if I'm displaying the Analysis tab, that the Hebrew word for it in Genesis 2:21 is basar, flesh. I can also check to see what the Strong's number is for an instance in the New Testament by finding one of those search hits. Just choose one at random here. In Romans 1:3, the Strong's number is 4561. Which is the Strong's number for sarx. There may be other Greek or Hebrew words that translate the word that you're looking for. You may have noticed that a Greek Strong's number is a little bit different than a Hebrew Strong's number. A Greek Strong's number does not begin with a 0, but if we go back to our first hit in the Old Testament, we find that all the Strong's numbers there begin with a 0. So that's a difference between Hebrew Strong's numbers and Greek Strong's numbers. Hebrew Strong's numbers begin with a 0. So once you've displayed Strong's numbers, you can run searches on them by double-clicking on the Strong's number. That finds all instances of that particular Strong's number. And notice that the command line, once you've double-clicked, it loads the type of search you might have typed into the command line, period, asterisk, at, and then the Strong's number, where asterisk is standing in for any English word or words that might be tagged for this Strong's number. When you search for the Strong's number, the text will highlight the words that were found for it. And we find here that basar is translated in Genesis 6:3 by are corrupt. So the Strong's number helps us toward finding the Greek or Hebrew word underlying the words that you're searching for. But when we're searching for Greek and Hebrew words using Strong's numbers, we're only searching at the level of what words in English have been tagged with a particular Strong's number that represents a Greek or Hebrew word. We can get even more precise in our searching by searching for the exact Hebrew word that's in that verse. So once I hold my mouse cursor over the Strong's number, hold down the Shift key, and go over here in the Analysis window to interact with the information there for basar, I can even use that information here in the Analysis tab to search for the word basar itself. All you need to do is hold your mouse cursor over the Hebrew word and give it a double click. It's searching a version that's a companion to my Hebrew text. Viewing the WTT, I'm actually searching the WTM, which is a morphology version that works alongside the WTT. Having clicked on that Hebrew word and searched for it, you can now view the search hits for the word, and also hold your mouse cursor over the word to see a Hebrew lexicon and how it defines that word in the Analysis window. Remember to hold your mouse cursor over the word, hit Shift, and then you can move your mouse cursor into the Analysis window where you can view the full extent of the lexicon definitions for that word. The search works the same way in Greek. I'm going to hit Escape a couple times, change my search version back to the CSB, type in CSB on the command line and hit Enter. Then search for flesh again, period. Flesh, hit Enter. Let's go back to that Romans verse. Click on it here. Hold my mouse cursor over 4561 for sarx. Hold down the Shift key so I can move over here into the Analysis tab. And I'll double click here on the Greek word, sarx. That searched both the Septuagint and the Greek New Testament for all instances where sarx appears. If I wish to look up the definition for sarx, just hold my mouse cursor over the highlighted word in the Browse window, and there in the Analysis window, I have my definition. You can get more help for some of the options for searching on Strong's numbers by clicking Help, BibleWorks Help Contents, and look for the article on the command line. Command line Introduction. Drag down a bit more and notice that there's an article on looking up Strong's numbers codes. Just click there and you'll find instructions on searching Strong's numbers.